Help me reach 7,000 subscribers. Please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback helps make the content better. She sat on the edge of the couch like a tourist waiting for a late bus, phone in her hand, thumb drifting. 30 minutes to Mike's birthday dinner. She hadn't moved. The dress she'd laid out in the morning was still on its hanger, the gift card still in the paper bag I set by the door. I was showered, shaved, keys on the console, jacket over a chair. The house felt like an airport where only one passenger intended to board. Clock's real, I told her, tying my shoes. It's a dinner, Tom. She didn't look up. They'll be fine if we're late. You get dramatic. You promised Mike I'd get you there by 7. It's 6:20. She gave me a smile that was almost kind. This control thing, when did that start? You're acting like a hall monitor. I stood there a second. So you're not going? I didn't say that. She flipped her hair. I just don't respond to pressure. Pressure is when I set a timer on the stove. This is a plan. You're in or not. She finally looked up. I'll think about it. I took the paper bag, slid the gift card into my jacket, and picked up my keys. I'm going. Without me. Now she looked interested. Without an hour of delay for a man who keeps his word to people. I'll see you later. Tom, stop being theatrical. I opened the front door. Then give me something that isn't a show. She held my eyes for a beat, then went back to scrolling. I left. If I'd known where it was headed, I'd have started packing that night. At the restaurant, Mike hugged me, loud and grateful, the kind of guy who counts attendance like votes. Where's Emily? Running behind. She good. She's committed to her phone. I said, and we both knew what I meant. I stayed an hour, toasted him, dropped off the gift, drove home. Her car wasn't in the driveway. Inside, the dress was still hanging and the couch still warm. She came back after 10, dropping a plastic bag on the counter from some boutique with a scented candle and a scarf. You missed dinner, I told her. She breezed past me. I caught a happy hour with the girls. Work's been insane. Mike's been my friend 15 years. And I've had a week. I'm sorry you felt abandoned. She kissed the air near my cheek. You're sweet when you try. Don't talk to me like a manager softening an email. Tom. She arched an eyebrow. You going to punish me? Dock my allowance. Her smile said the word didn't apply to her. Not punishing. Adjusting. Decisions start tomorrow. For what? My time. I nodded toward the guest room down the hall. Move your office stuff in there tonight. I'm separating work and sleep. New rule. No phones in the bedroom after 9. If you want to be up scrolling, use the guest room. She laughed. Since when do you set rules? Since tonight. I picked up my overnight bag from the closet and put it on the bed. And since dinners matter. Oh, please. She waved me off. You make everything about respect. It's exhausting. It is. I'm solving it. I took my pillow and walked toward the guest room. Seriously? She followed me. Over one dinner. It's not about one dinner, I said, dropping the pillow on the guest bed. It's about me deciding to stop chasing you through your own show. I slept fine. The next morning she made coffee like nothing had changed. I took mine to the garage, sat by the workbench, and wrote out 3 lines in a notebook. Time slots, budget, boundaries. Then I called Mike. You good? He asked. I'm fine. I'm changing things. About time, he said, which told me I'd been late to my own life. At noon, Emily texted me a link with a glossy invite. Networking night, downtown. $200 a ticket. We should go, she added. Good for your business. I replied, looks like you want to go. Buy your ticket from your account. I don't have extra, she wrote. It's shared money. Not starting next week. I sent a photo of 2 laminate cards I'd made that morning. Budget A for me, budget B for her. Same household bills, personal spending separate. We're splitting discretionary. Effective Monday. She didn't answer. By evening, she was back to her standard charm. I got us a reservation at the wine place Friday, she said at dinner, stabbing a salad like it owed her. It's owner's night. My team will be there. I'm not going Friday. What? I have client calls I can't shift. You can go. She blinked. People will ask where you are. You'll think of something, I said. You're good on stage. She set her fork down. You're being mean. I'm being specific. Her phone buzzed. She checked it while I was still talking. I need to take this. It's Jenna. I got up and rinsed my plate. She called after me. So now you're sulking? Not sulking. Reprogramming. I went to the guest room and closed the door. The first hit came that weekend at our neighbor's barbecue. Ben and Karen live 2 houses down, the couple that organizes street cleanup and hosts potlucks. Good people. Around the patio, Emily worked her circle like she was born with a spotlight. Karen handed me a burger and a look. You two okay? She seems sharp tonight. Emily's in lead actor mode, I told her. Jenna from Emily's office joined with a paper plate. Tom, you run that small operation, right? She made small sound like a cute pet. Emily stepped in. Mom and Pop. He loves being his own boss. Lots of free time. I took a sip of soda. I use it to return my calls. Jenna laughed. He's joking. Emily tapped my arm. He's been on a systems kick. Schedules and charts. Very earnest. Ernest pays the bills, I said. She cocked her head. It pays some. The big wins come from being out. Meeting people. She spread her hands to the patio like she owned the lease. Ben wandered over. Wins making sure the grill doesn't burn. You two want a refill? I nodded, but Emily cut in. He's off drinks. Focus mode. Don't speak for me. I replied, even, not loud. I'm fine. She smiled at the group. See? So serious. We try not to spook him. We? I asked. She lifted her cup. Collective effort. I set my cup down. Quick thing. I turned to the small circle that had formed. Ben, Karen, Jenna, a couple neighbors. I'm not a skittish pet. I'm the guy who shows up on time and pays for what he says he'll pay for. That's the brand. Emily rolled her eyes. Tom, and also, I added, if you see me somewhere, you'll see me. Not a punchline. Is this a speech? Jenna smirked. It's a notice. For my own peace. I glanced at Emily. Public jokes about my work stop here. If someone needs a laugh, roast me in private. Karen touched Emily's elbow lightly. He's right. Emily pulled her arm away. Everyone's very sensitive tonight. I looked at her. You good with that? She stared back. Don't micromanage me at a barbecue. I'm drawing a line, I said, then turned to Ben. That refill. Ben handed me a soda without a word. The circle broke. On the walk home, Emily kept pace, but not step. You embarrassed me. No, Emily. You've been doing that to me for months. I put it down. You love these rules. Next thing you'll ask for time slots to talk. Great idea, I said. Tuesday and Thursday, 7 to 8. If it's important, we do it then. The rest of the time, we live. I'm done with sudden ambushes. She stopped on the sidewalk. You can't schedule marriage. Watch me. She laughed. This is why I go out. You're impossible. Then go, I told her. Just don't invoice me for it. Monday morning, I opened a new business account and moved all my client receipts there. I changed autopay so the house bills were still covered, but the card linked to her favorite salons, shops, and networking was no longer mine. I told her that night at our scheduled time. She folded her arms. You're cutting me off. I'm cutting off the joint tap for personal entertainment. If you want to go to a $200 night where people swap cards and stories, that's your call. Pay for it with your card. What if it leads to something big? You never think like that. Show me the invoices, I said. We'll celebrate. She let out a breath. You're making it hard to be supportive. I'm making it expensive to be careless. She stared at me, then softened. Okay. She reached for my hand. I'm sorry if I've been flippant. It landed like a rehearsed line. Noted, I replied. I didn't move my hand to meet hers. 2 days later, she woke me early. Coffee's on, she said softly. I booked us a table at that diner you like. I watched her set a mug by the bed. She almost never made coffee. What's up? I thought we could reset. No phones, just talk. She smiled like the sun was hers. Mid-turn, I thought. The charm after the line. I got dressed anyway. At the diner, she held my hand. I was rough at Karen's, she said. I hear you. Okay. I want us to be a team. I'm all for that, I told her. She nodded, then let it out. But there's an event next week I can't miss. Leaders from the region. It's pricey, but it's necessary. If you could cover it this once, I'll make it up. There it was. No, I said. You go if you want. Pay with your card. Her smile thinned. So your team talk was a trap. It was breakfast. She let go of my hand. You make me the adversary. I'm giving you a separate runway, I said. Your choices, your costs. That's respect. She picked up her phone. I need the restroom. She didn't come back until the check hit the table. That weekend her office had a gathering at a coworker's loft. She wanted me there. People ask questions when you're absent, she said while ironing a blouse she'd return the next day. It looks weird. Then tell them we prefer to split events. They won't get it, she replied. They think we're married, I asked. She didn't answer. We went. I stuck to water. She floated through the room, dropping lines that landed just loud enough to carry. This is Tom, she told a manager. He runs a cute shop. Keeps him busy. Cute. And he's patient, she told a pair near the bar. Puts up with my chaos. Puts up. When someone asked how we met, she leaned into it. He made me laugh, she said, like it was quaint. He was so earnest. I watched her stack attention like chips. It wasn't new, but it had a system now. On the way home, she was bright. That went well, she said. I think I'm on their short list for a bigger project. Congrats. They love that you're supportive. I didn't say anything. That's the beauty. You just smile. She patted my knee. You're very usable. I looked at her. That your word? Relax, she said. You know what I mean. I do, I told her. New rule. No more using me as color in your stories. If you talk about me, keep it real or keep me out. You are so literal, she muttered. It was flattering. It was minimizing, I said. Not anymore. She stared out the window. You're going to ruin a good thing. Good for who? I asked. She didn't answer. The next big test came at her company party. A rented hall, overhead lights, a DJ pretending to know what people wanted. I wore a clean shirt and kept my hands in my pockets. Emily pulled me around like a prop, then at one point took the mic to thank everyone for a great quarter. She had that glow again. And a special thanks to my home support, she said, waving toward me, for tolerating my calendar and my madness. He's basically my unpaid assistant. Laughter. I lifted a hand. Happy to correct the record. I called out, not loud, just steady. Heads turned. I'm not an assistant. I'm a business owner. And I don't tolerate. I choose where I spend my time. A hush like a door closing. Emily's smile lost its anchor. He's joking, she tried. I shook my head. I'm clear. The DJ coughed into his mic and started a song to fill the space. I walked off to refill my water. Jenna appeared from nowhere. Bold move, she said. Not bold. Accurate. Emily found me by the snack table. What was that? A boundary. You mislabel me in public, I fix it in public. You embarrassed me in front of my team. You've been warming up the crowd for months, I replied. We're done with that act. She stood there a moment, then shifted tone. Okay, I'm sorry. She took my wrist. I went too far. I get it. I watched her carefully. I'll accept that, I told her. But we're not doing this again. For 2 days, she was considerate. Texted before she made plans. Asked about my clients. Cooked once. Slept with her phone in the guest room. I took the calm, kept my distance, did not confuse a lull for peace. Then came the kill turn. Karen's birthday fell on a Saturday. She'd planned a small thing at her place. There'd be neighbors, a few of Emily's work people, and Karen's sister from out of town. Karen liked it simple. We arrived on time. Ben nodded at me, grateful. Emily had a bottle in her hand and her stage smile ready. The living room filled with conversation. Someone started a game of charades. I stood with Mike near the kitchen, catching up about his dad's health. Emily drifted over with a plate of appetizers, then saw Jenna and peeled off. After an hour, Karen came to me. You okay? She asked low. You look like you're counting exits. I'm fine, I said, just watching the plays. Halfway through the second round of charades, Emily took the floor without drawing a card. Before we continue, she announced, quick clarification. People looked up. So many of you ask about us. It's sweet. Just so there's no confusion, we're kind of doing our own thing. Not a couple. Silence has texture. This one was sandpaper. She laughed like she'd said something clever. We coexist. It works for us. I stared at her. She met my eyes like she'd won a bet. Ben put his drink down. Emily, that's not your call. She shrugged. It's our reality. No need to pretend. Karen's sister gave me a long look. Jenna smirked. I set my cup on the counter and walked toward Emily. Say that again, I said calm. She tilted her head. We're not a couple. People will be less confused if we. Good, I replied. From this moment, definitely not. Her mouth opened, then closed. Tom, I was being clear, I finished. Me too. I turned to the room. Thanks for having us, Karen. Happy birthday. I nodded to Ben, to Mike, to the circle that now felt like a jury. Emily reached for my arm. I stepped back. Don't make a scene, she said. No scene, I replied. Just a decision. I walked out, crossed the lawn without hurry, and went home. In the bedroom, I pulled 2 suitcases from the closet. I took clothes, laptop, charger, the folder with our insurance papers, my passport, and the set of keys for the storage unit. I stripped the house of my essentials like I was sweeping a table, smooth, quick, no waste. I left my ring on the dresser. On the kitchen counter, I placed a sticky note. No more show. Guest room is yours. I'm out. I checked into a motel near the interstate that night, the kind with ice machines that never stop. I slept with the door latched and my phone off. In the morning, I moved to action. I called my accountant, Benji, tight, blunt, slow to speak, which I like. I need the full split, I told him. Separate accounts, separate tax prep, separate everything. I want a clean line. Day you decide is the day it gets easy, he said. Come in Monday. I went apartment hunting. Found a 1-bedroom above a hardware store with a small balcony and a working heater. I signed the application before lunch. I could see the park from the window. Good enough. At noon, Emily called and called. I let it go. Then texts. Where are you? Be reasonable. We need to discuss. I sent one reply. All discussions Tuesday 7 to 8 p.m. Text only until then. She blew up again. You can't ghost me. I'm not. I wrote back. I'm scheduling you. I spent the afternoon moving boxes out of storage and into the new place. I bought a mattress, made a quick run to a grocery, and set up my desk by the window. That evening, I emailed every client a new mailing address. Tuesday at 7, her text arrived right on time. This is childish. It's organized, I answered. Let's handle logistics. Come home, she wrote. We'll talk in person. No. Why? Because at a friend's house. You told a room we weren't a couple. I typed. You wanted the status without the person. I'm honoring your statement. She paused. Then, I didn't mean it like that. You said it like that. It landed like that. It solved the problem. Now here we are. So that's it. You quit. I'm not quitting. I'm closing. I attached a PDF Benji had drafted that afternoon, a 1-page outline of split expenses, timelines for removing each other from certain accounts, and a handoff of shared responsibilities. Sign and return. We'll start right away. This is extreme. It's adult. She went quiet for 5 minutes, then tried a different gear. I miss you. I looked at the ceiling. I miss respect. I sent the next set of steps. Thursday I'll swing by with a mover between 2 and 4 to get what's left. Please be out of the way. You can't just pull me out of the accounts. That's precisely what I can do. And will. She stopped texting. I set my alarm and slept. The next day, I went by the house with Mike. He carried a couple of boxes and kept his mouth mostly shut, which is why I asked him. Emily stood at the kitchen island with her arms crossed. So this is real, she said. Yes. You're punishing me for one comment. No. I'm responding to a year of comments with one action. She slammed a drawer. You love your lines. Makes you feel big. Makes me feel clean, I said, then handed Mike a box. Office stuff. She followed me down the hall. People already texted me. You made me look like a fool. I paused. You did that work yourself? I just stopped holding the backdrop. She blinked. You think you're so noble. No. Practical. I nodded toward the guest room. That's yours from now on. I'll be done in 20. She looked at Mike. Say something. Mike kept his eyes on the box. Not my house. She laughed once, sharp. Cowards. We finished in 15. I set a new set of house keys on the counter. Front door, garage. I kept my copy of the storage unit and mailbox. On the way out, she said, we should meet for coffee. Public place. Clear the air. Not doing backroom deals in cafes, I answered. All changes are in writing. She raised a finger like she was coaching me. This will blow over if you let it. It won't, I said. I'm not the weather. That night, she called from a blocked number. I let it ring. Friday, my accountant sent 2 letters certified. One to the mortgage company to switch autopay to shared escrow and pull my card off all discretionary add-ons. One to the utility providers to set up individual logins and separate alerts. He copied me. At noon, Emily texted, You're being cruel. Cruel is calling it love while you strip someone for parts. I wrote back. I'm just unplugging the power. She didn't respond. Saturday, Karen knocked on my apartment door with a pie. I didn't know what to do, she said. So I baked. That's my whole skill set. Your set is fine, I told her, letting her in. I'm sorry, she said, setting the pie down. I should have said something before it got that far. You tried, I said. Not your job to fix us. She tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. She's telling people you overreacted. That you're trying to prove a point. I am, I said. My point is that a man doesn't need to be someone's stage. He can be his own room. Karen nodded slowly. She's not going to apologize for real. I know. Good, she said. Because you deserve a clean exit. Monday morning, Emily tried her second illusion. She sent flowers to the hardware store downstairs with a note asking them to deliver up. The card said, "Let's start over. Dinner on me. I'll make reservations." It was a restaurant we used to go to when we were kind. I set the flowers on the balcony for the neighbor to take and texted, "No dates. Logistics only." She sent a long paragraph about memories, how we're stronger than a rough month, how she was under pressure at work and said things to cope. She added, "I miss our couch nights." It read like a script. I replied with the date and time for our next slot and a list. Remove her from my health plan. Separate the gym membership. Split the storage unit. She played nice for 2 days, then fired back. You making me pay for my own networking is spiteful. It's aligned. If it benefits you, you invest. It benefits us. It didn't. You don't know that. I do. Because my name was a punchline and your status went up. That math tells me what paid. You're impossible, she wrote. I'm finished, I corrected. She tried one more angle. Karen's hosting a small thing next week. We should go together, show we're adults. Pass, I replied. You like crowds. I'm done being a surface. The next Thursday was our scheduled slot. I sat at my desk with my phone on the table. At 7:05, she called. Tom, she started soft. I've been thinking. I crossed a line at Karen's. I'll say that. I want to try differently. We can do couple sessions. We can reset the joke thing. I'll slow down the outside stuff. We can keep the budget together. I'll send calendar invites when I go out. You're offering compliance, I said. Not respect. Respect is a feeling. It's a set of actions. She let out a breath. So what do you want? A clean end. I'll drop off the packet Saturday morning. You sign it with Benji. We'll split the bills until the lease is up and then sell the house. You keep your accounts. I keep mine. We don't ask each other for anything beyond what's written. She was quiet for a long moment. You'd really walk away. I already did. You're throwing away years. I'm throwing away a stage, I said. The man stays. You'll regret this. I doubt it. Who's going to show up at events with you and smile? I don't do events, I said. I do work and people who don't need a stage. You'll be back, she said. They always come back. Listen carefully, I told her. We're done. She hung up. Saturday morning, I drove to the house, parked on the street, and rang the bell. She answered in a robe, hair up, eyes like she hadn't slept. You look dramatic, she said, and I almost smiled. I held up a folder. Sign here, here, and here. I set the folder on the table beside a pen. Benji needs it by Tuesday. I'll take care of the rest. She flipped through the pages. This is clinical. It's clean, I said. You keep your car, your accounts, your furniture in the guest room. You're off my business card, my email signatures, my health, my memberships. Utilities are split. No joint calendar. Our communication stays in the Tuesday/Thursday slot until it can end. You're making me a stranger. You made me a prop. Stranger is an upgrade. She looked up sharply. I just liked attention. I know, I replied. You can keep chasing it. Just not with my gas. She tapped the pen against the folder. I want a conversation at a cafe. One last try. No, I said. You had dozens of public forums over the last 6 months. This is the only forum I attend. She signed, handed me the folder like it stung. Happy now? Not happy, I said. Calm. I took the folder and walked to the door. She followed me onto the porch. What do I tell people? She asked. The truth, I said. You said we weren't a couple. I believed you. You'll look cold. I'll look consistent. I went down the steps and didn't look back. The next few weeks were all action and no speeches. I changed passwords. I closed the joint card and opened my own. I unsubscribed from her event newsletters, spamming my email. I moved my tools to the new place, then my books. I took her off the vendor accounts I'd set up for household repairs, out of the shared cloud drive, out of the app that managed our errands. I left the lawnmower and the ladder because I don't own a lawn anymore. She tried a Hail Mary a month later. Texted me a photo of a couple we both knew at a work gala. This could be us if you didn't make everything about pride. It's not about pride, I wrote. It's about not being background. She sent back a thumbs down. Apartment life settled like a well-fitted jacket. I set a routine. Mornings, a run around the park. Daytime, work with my door open for light. Afternoons, coffee at the corner shop, where the owner keeps a chalkboard with names of regulars. Evenings, calls with clients who pay on time. Saturdays, a hardware store project with the owner, Pete, who talks like every piece of wood has a personality and every tool a memory. We rebuilt a cabinet someone had thrown out. I fixed the hinges with patience I didn't know I had left. It felt honest. 2 months later, I stood at the gas station, filling up my truck. Mike pulled in across the lot and waved. "How's the clean life?" "Quiet," I said. Emily showed up at Karen's last week wearing independence like a jacket. He leaned on his door. She told people she's taking time for herself. Then she asked around about a +1 for a company retreat. "Sounds on brand." She said, "You made a hard call." "I made an easy one," I said. "Hard was staying." He grinned. "You look lighter." "I am." Then he looked at my truck. "New tires. New everything," I said. Maintenance was overdue. He nodded toward the main road. "You coming by the shop later?" "Nate's bringing his new kid." "I'll stop by." I drove back to my place, parked, and carried a bag of groceries upstairs. On the landing, my new neighbor, Alicia, was wrestling with a stack of boxes. She runs a small design studio in the next block and uses words like layout and deliverable without ceremony. "Need a hand?" I asked. "I'll take one," she said. We moved her boxes into her unit. "You're efficient." "I finally learned to pack light." She smiled. "Coffee sometime?" "I need opinions on a logo for a client." "You look like you'd tell the truth." "I have a rule about that," I said. "Coffee is Thursday, 5 to 6. I can do straight answers." "Perfect," she said. "Thursday." I kept my schedule. I kept my coins to myself. I kept my voice steady when people asked what happened. No gossip, no spin. "We had different values," I said. "We both deserve fits that make sense." A month after that, a neighbor from our old street texted me a photo of an invite on a fridge. Karen and Ben were doing another barbecue. At the bottom, in handwriting, was "Tom, come by if you want." I brought a coleslaw and a quiet appetite. When I walked into their yard, a few heads turned. I shook hands, nodded to the people who hadn't been kind in their silence, said hi to those who had. Karen hugged me like she'd been waiting. "You look good," she said. "I feel like myself," I told her. Emily wasn't there. Someone said she was out with coworkers at a new lounge across town. The circle on the patio felt different without her running it. Ben flipped burgers and asked me about a project. Mike showed me photos of his dad fishing. Jenna was there too, leaning on the cooler, and she avoided my eyes. That was fine. When the sun slid lower, Karen clinked a glass lightly. "We're glad you're here," she said, to everyone. But her eyes grazed me for half a second. "Let's be kind to each other. That's the rule." People cheered. It wasn't a show. It was a neighborhood. On the way out, Karen walked me to the gate. "She's struggling," she said. "New apartment, new bills. She'll figure it out, or she won't. Not your job." "I know," I said. "I'm not in that movie." "You're allowed to be happy," she told me. "I am." Weeks later, I drove to the coast for a weekend. No reason beyond the air. I rented a small place with a chair by a window and a view of the water. I read a book. I fixed a loose cabinet door because I could. I sent a picture to Mike of the sunset because he likes those. Alicia texted me a logo update. I gave her one line of input. I ate a decent dinner at a plain place and went to bed early. On Sunday evening, my phone buzzed one last time with her name. I let it ring out. Then a text arrived. I signed the final utilities transfer. "You win." I typed back. It wasn't a contest. It was a correction. No reply. Back home, I sat on my balcony and watched the street. A couple walked by holding hands, laughing about something that had nothing to do with status. The hardware store closed for the night. A delivery guy whistled. Inside, my place was small, clean, paid for. I didn't wreck anything. I didn't beg. I redrew my life and walked into it. That's the part people miss. The power isn't in the speech. It's in the door that actually shuts when you say it will. If anyone asks me now how it ended, I tell them the simplest truth. She needed to be the star. I stopped renting the lights. And it turns out, when you stop lighting someone else's stage, you can finally see your own floor. You sweep it, you put your tools away, you lock up, you sleep. And in the morning,